Hello, fellow brothers. Welcome to Rare Breed Brotherhood. Not everyone fits neatly into society's molds. If you've ever felt like you don't belong in the crowd, yet you don't feel the need to change who you are to fit in, chances are you might embody the Sigma mindset. This isn't about following trends or labels. It's about understanding your unique way of navigating life. The truth is, living as a Sigma means confronting harsh realities that many people would rather ignore. This video isn't just for Sigmas only, it's also for anyone striving to live authentically. These truths aren't sugar-coated, they're raw, real, and might even be uncomfortable to hear. But in embracing them, you'll find the strength to stand taller, think clearer, and carve your own path in a world that demands conformity. Let these lessons inspire you to rise above the noise, embrace your independence, and own your Sigma mindset fully. This isn't just knowledge, it's a call to action to live with purpose and clarity. Watch now and take the first step towards mastering your unique power. Let's get started, brothers, and don't forget to let us know your thoughts in the comment section, as I do love to hear from you. Number 1, social structures are power plays, not necessities. Society thrives on structure, from workplace hierarchies to social cliques. These frameworks are often presented as necessary for order, but Sigmas see through this illusion. To them, these structures are less about unity and progress and more about control. Systems designed to keep people in predefined roles, often to the benefit of those at the top. Sigmas don't reject these systems just for the sake of rebellion. They understand the purpose these hierarchies serve, but they also know that most of them aren't essential. They're convenient, they offer predictability and a sense of belonging, but often at the cost of individual freedom and authenticity. Sigmas question this trade-off, not because they're difficult or contrarian, but because they see that many of these rules are optional. You can participate in the system without being confined by it. This mindset allows Sigmas to navigate life differently. They can operate within these structures when necessary, but they never lose sight of their autonomy. They're not seduced by titles, ranks, or superficial power plays. Instead, they prioritize results, competence, and authenticity over arbitrary status. This perspective often makes them appear indifferent to authority, but the truth is they only respect leadership that earns its place, not just leadership that claims it. Sigmas challenge others simply by existing. They remind people that these hierarchies only have power if you choose to play by their rules. It's not about tearing systems down, it's about proving that you can succeed, thrive, and lead without surrendering your independence. This quiet defiance isn't about ego, it's about truth. For Sigmas, life isn't about climbing someone else's ladder, it's about building your own. Number 2, most relationships are built on convenience, not depth. Most people like to believe their relationships are built on genuine connection, but Sigmas see a harsher truth. Many relationships, whether personal or professional, are based on convenience rather than true depth. This doesn't mean people are inherently selfish or insincere, but often relationships form because it's easier, practical, or mutually beneficial, not because there's a real bond. Sigmas understand this reality, and instead of being disillusioned by it, they use it to navigate their connections with clarity and intention. Sigmas don't waste time chasing approval or maintaining superficial ties. They're not interested in relationships that exist purely out of obligation, routine, or societal expectations. To them, the depth of a connection matters far more than its appearance. They'd rather have one meaningful, authentic bond than dozens of surface-level friendships that add nothing to their lives. This makes them selective, not cold. They don't reject people, they simply avoid relationships that feel hollow or forced. In professional settings, Sigmas see through the transactional nature of interactions. They know when someone's interest is tied to their skills, status, or what they can provide. This awareness doesn't make them cynical, it makes them strategic. They engage when it aligns with their goals, but never confuse workplace alliances with genuine friendships. This mindset often confuses others, who might misinterpret their selectiveness as aloofness. But for Sigmas, it's about conserving energy and valuing quality over quantity. They understand that true connections take time, effort, and mutual respect. They'd rather wait for those rare, genuine bonds than settle for convenience. It's not about shutting people out, it's about letting the right ones in. This approach doesn't make them distant, it makes them wise. Number 3, The crowd worships stability, not truth. Most people crave stability, even if it means clinging to comfortable illusions. They find reassurance in the predictable, preferring a familiar lie to a disruptive truth. The crowd thrives on certainty, even when it's built on shaky foundations. Sigmas see this clearly. They understand that truth, while liberating, often unsettles people, challenging the systems and beliefs they hold dear. Sigmas don't shy away from truth, but they know when to wield it and when to hold back. They recognize that exposing a lie or revealing a harsh reality isn't always met with gratitude. It's often met with resistance, denial, or even hostility. Because of this, Sigmas choose their battles carefully. They don't waste their energy forcing truth on those unwilling to hear it. Instead, they observe, analyze, and act with precision, speaking only when their words have purpose. This isn't cowardice or avoidance, it's strategy. Sigmas understand that not every fight is worth fighting and not every audience is ready for the truth. They save their insights for moments that matter, where their words can inspire change or spark genuine understanding. To outsiders, this restraint might seem like detachment, but it's the hallmark of wisdom. Living in a world that values comfort over clarity can be isolating for Sigmas. They see beyond the surface, often watching as others double down on illusions rather than face reality. But instead of feeling disheartened, Sigmas find strength in their awareness. They learn to navigate the tension between stability and truth, staying grounded in their convictions without being consumed by the crowd's fears. For Sigmas, truth isn't just a principle, it's a power, one they respect deeply and wield with care. Number 4, success doesn't require permission. For Sigmas, the idea of waiting for permission to chase success is absurd. They know that no one else has the authority to decide what they're capable of achieving. While many people seek validation from others, be it family, friends, or society, Sigmas carve their own path. They understand that success isn't about meeting external expectations, but about living up to their own. This mindset allows them to act boldly and independently. Sigmas don't waste time explaining their goals or seeking approval for their decisions. They don't need applause to move forward. Their motivation comes from within, fueled by their personal vision and drive. This independence can make them seem unconventional or even rebellious, but in truth, they are just uninterested in following someone else's script. Sigmas also recognize that chasing external validation can be a trap. When you rely on others to approve your choices, you give them power over your life. Sigmas refuse to surrender that control. They understand that the road to success is often lonely, filled with criticism, doubt, and misunderstanding. But instead of being deterred, they embrace it. They know that staying true to their vision is worth more than fleeting approval. This approach doesn't mean they ignore feedback or resist collaboration. Sigmas value insight and expertise, but they never let outside opinions dictate their path. They trust their instincts, adapt when necessary, and keep moving forward. Success for them isn't a trophy or a title. It's the freedom to live life on their own terms, achieving goals that align with their values and passions. Sigmas remind us that you don't need permission to succeed. You just need the courage to start, the discipline to keep going, and the conviction to define success for yourself. Number 5. Rebellion without strategy is just noise. Rebellion for its own sake is chaos without direction. Sigmas understand this better than most. They know that simply being loud, defiant, or oppositional achieves little unless it's tied to a clear purpose. For them, rebellion isn't about attention or drama. It's about meaningful, calculated change. When Sigmas disrupt the status quo, it's not to make noise, but to make an impact. Sigmas have no interest in rebelling just to prove a point or to challenge authority for the sake of it. They see no value in reckless defiance that lacks focus or strategy. Instead, they approach disruption with a deliberate mindset. Before acting, they assess the situation, analyze the risks, and calculate the potential outcomes. This thoughtfulness allows them to channel their efforts where it matters, targeting systems or ideas that genuinely need change. While others might rebel impulsively, driven by emotion or ego, Sigmas prioritize effectiveness. They don't waste energy fighting battles that won't yield results. If they challenge something, it's because they've identified a flaw, a weakness, or an opportunity for improvement. This calculated approach often makes their actions more impactful because they strike with precision, not recklessness. SIGMAs also recognize that real power lies in subtlety. Sometimes the most effective rebellion isn't a grand, visible act, but a quiet, methodical shift that redefines the game entirely. They are patient, knowing that change doesn't have to be immediate, it has to be lasting. This strategic approach to rebellion isn't about avoiding risk, it's about maximizing influence. SIGMAs remind us that disruption without a plan is just noise, but rebellion guided by intelligence and purpose can truly reshape the world. Number 6. The world rewards perception over reality. The world often runs on perception rather than reality. People are drawn to what they can see, hear, and believe in the moment, even if it's far from the truth. Flashy appearances, confident talk, and surface-level charm frequently overshadow genuine substance. SIGMAs are keenly aware of this. They see through the smoke and mirrors that drive much of life and understand how perception can shape outcomes. While SIGMAs despise pretense, they aren't naive about its power. They know that the world doesn't always reward hard work, honesty, or authenticity unless it's presented in the right way. They don't like playing the game of appearances, but they also know when it's necessary. For them, it's not about becoming someone they're not. It's about leveraging perception strategically to achieve their goals. SIGMAs know how to adapt without losing their integrity. They can present themselves in a way that fits the situation, but always with a clear boundary. They never let appearances define who they are. They might use perception as a tool, but they don't rely on it as a foundation. Their focus remains on what's real: skills, results, and character. This approach sets them apart. While others get lost in trying to maintain a false image, SIGMAs understand that perception is fleeting, but substance lasts. They play the game only when it serves a purpose, and they exit it when it no longer aligns with their values. In a world obsessed with surface-level success, SIGMAs quietly remind us that while perception might open doors, reality is what keeps them open. They balance both worlds with precision, proving that it's possible to navigate the illusion without losing touch with the truth. Number 7. Time is the ultimate currency. For SIGMAs, time is more than a measurement. It's the most precious resource they have. Unlike money, possessions, or status, time can't be earned back once it's spent. They understand this at a level that most people don't. While others waste hours on trivial matters, distractions, or obligations they don't truly value, SIGMAs are fiercely protective of their time. They view every moment as an investment, and they refuse to squander it. This mindset often makes them appear distant or even dismissive. They might decline invitations, avoid small talk, or bypass activities that seem to hold value for others. But this isn't about arrogance or antisocial behavior. It's about focus. SIGMAs know that their time must align with their goals, values, and priorities. If something doesn't contribute to their growth, happiness, or purpose, they won't hesitate to step away from it. SIGMAs also have a deep awareness of how society encourages the mindless consumption of time. From endless scrolling on social media to obligations driven by guilt or expectation, they see how easy it is to let the hours slip away. They resist these traps by being intentional. They set boundaries, limit distractions, and choose quality over quantity in everything they do, from relationships to work. This approach can be misunderstood. Others may perceive their guarded time as aloofness or selfishness, but SIGMAs don't let that sway them. They know that every second spent pleasing others at their own expense is a second they can't get back. For a SIGMA, time is life's ultimate currency. They spend it with care, invest it wisely, and never take it for granted. Their ability to protect this resource isn't just a habit, it's a philosophy, a way of living that ensures they remain in control of their own story. At number 8, most advice is projection, not wisdom. SIGMAs understand a hard truth that many overlook. Most advice says more about the person giving it than the person receiving it. When people offer guidance, it's often laced with their own fears, doubts, and biases. It's rarely pure wisdom. More often, it's a projection of their experiences and insecurities. SIGMAs, with their sharp perception, are adept at recognizing this pattern and filtering advice accordingly. This doesn't mean SIGMAs dismiss all advice outright. They listen, but they listen critically. They analyze the source, questioning the motivation and context behind the words. Is the person speaking from genuine insight, or are they projecting their own limitations? SIGMAs know that even well-meaning advice can come from a place of fear. Don't take risks, play it safe, or follow the traditional path, reflecting what someone else is too scared to do themselves. SIGMAs also see how people's advice often revolves around maintaining conformity. Friends, family, and colleagues may push their perspectives because they're more comfortable when everyone follows the same script. But SIGMAs refuse to let others' insecurities dictate their choices. They filter out the noise, keeping only the insights that resonate with their own values and goals. This skill allows them to remain independent thinkers. They don't blindly follow advice just because it comes from someone older, more experienced, or in a position of authority. Instead, they take what's useful, discard the rest, and trust their own judgment above all. SIGMAs remind us that advice is rarely universal. It's deeply personal to the giver. True wisdom lies in separating projection from insight, and SIGMAs excel at this. They listen, evaluate, and ultimately chart their own course, guided by clarity and self-awareness rather than the doubts and fears of others. Number 9, the system isn't broken, it's rigged. SIGMAs don't view the system as broken, they see it for what it is, rigged to benefit a select few while keeping the majority compliant. They recognize that societal structures are designed not for fairness but for control, efficiency, and the perpetuation of power. Instead of wasting energy lamenting this reality or waiting for it to change, SIGMAs focus on adapting and thriving despite the odds. They don't waste time complaining about injustices or flaws that are baked into the system. While others vent frustration or cling to the hope of reform, SIGMAs quietly analyze the rules, understanding how the game is played. But unlike those who conform, they don't try to win by following the system's script. Instead, they create their own paths, ones that align with their values and strengths. This doesn't mean they ignore the world around them or pretend it's fair. On the contrary, SIGMAs are keenly aware of its inequities, but they also know that dwelling on what's wrong often leads to stagnation. Change is slow, and the system isn't built to evolve overnight. SIGMAs choose a more pragmatic route, sidestepping the traps, exploiting the loopholes, and finding ways to operate on their own terms. By rejecting dependence on established structures, SIGMAs embody self-reliance. They prioritize building systems that serve their goals, whether it's designing a unique career path, cultivating unconventional relationships, or redefining success entirely. While others wait for the rules to change, SIGMAs are already rewriting them in their favor. They remind us that the system isn't broken, it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. The question is whether you'll let it dictate your life, or like a SIGMA, learn to outmaneuver it and create your own reality. Number 10, true confidence is quiet, not loud. SIGMAs embody a confidence that is calm, steady, and completely self-contained. They understand that true self-assurance isn't about being the loudest voice in the room or constantly seeking validation. It's a quiet force, rooted in self-awareness and an unshakable belief in their own abilities and worth. Unlike many, they don't feel the need to announce their achievements, boast about their skills, or seek applause. Their confidence speaks for itself through their actions, choices, and presence. This quiet confidence can be misunderstood. In a world that often equates volume with value, people might mistake SIGMAs' reserved demeanor for passivity or indifference. But those who look closer quickly realize the depth of their assurance. SIGMAs don't need external acknowledgement to feel secure in themselves. Their sense of worth comes from within, not from the opinions of others. SIGMAs also know that loud confidence is often a mask for insecurity. People who constantly need to assert their dominance or showcase their achievements are usually seeking reassurance. SIGMAs, on the other hand, are free from this need. They're comfortable in their own skin and have nothing to prove. This makes their confidence not only genuine but magnetic. Others are drawn to their calm, composed energy without fully understanding why. Living with quiet confidence also allows SIGMAs to stay focused. They don't waste energy performing for others or chasing validation. Instead, they channel their efforts into personal growth, meaningful goals, and living authentically. They remind us that true confidence isn't about being seen or heard. It's about knowing who you are and moving through life with purpose and clarity, no matter who's watching. You've made it to the end, and if you've resonated with these truths, then you already know you're not like most people. You don't follow the crowd and you don't waste time on things that don't matter. You've recognized that life is more than just conforming to a system, more than seeking validation from others, and more than living by someone else's rules. That's the mindset of a Sigma. Being a Sigma means accepting the harsh truths others refuse to face. It means understanding that success isn't handed to you. It's earned through grit and independence. It's knowing that the world is driven by perception, but you don't need to play by its rules to succeed. It's about guarding your time fiercely, not because you're cold, but because you know it's the one thing you can't get back. It's about choosing freedom, not because it's easy, but because it's yours to define. The reality is that most people aren't ready for this level of autonomy or responsibility, and they'll never understand your path. That's okay. Sigmas don't need to be understood. They need to stay true to themselves. You don't wait for permission to live the life you want. You make it happen, with or without support. So if you've identified with these truths, take pride in it. You're not out of place. You're just ahead of the game. Keep pushing forward, trusting your instincts, and building your life on your own terms. If this resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Stay focused, stay independent, and keep embracing what makes you, you. Thanks for watching until the end. You're doing things your way, and that's exactly how it should be. God bless you.